Anthropic just dropped Opus 4.7 today, and before you go watch 15 tech reviewers tell you it scored amazing on all these benchmarks, I want to give you the version that actually matters if you're running businesses. Because here's the thing, most of the people covering this don't actually use it in a practical business application. They read the press release, they screenshot the benchmark table, they tell you it's better than GPT 5.4, and then they move on. And that's not useful. What's useful is knowing what this actually changes about how you operate, what you should test first. And this is the part almost nobody's talking about. The thing in this release that could quietly raise your costs if you don't catch it before you migrate. Now, I'm Andrew Mudd. I run Mudd Ventures, an AI implementation consultancy for business owners and operators. Before this, I co-founded a sales and marketing agency, scaled it to 25 people, multiple $1 million per year. I've been running AI inside real operations since early 2023. That's the lens I'm bringing here to this video. Let's get into it. So 4 big changes in this release. I'm going to tell you which ones matter and for who, because honestly, 2 of them are massive and 2 of them won't affect most of the people watching this video. 1, Vision got a serious upgrade. Now, the resolution cap on images jumped to 3.75 megapixels. It's a big jump, and it's not just that photos look better. The practical improvement in what this model can actually do with detailed images improved. So counting objects accurately, measuring things in a photo, finding exactly where an image something is, not just saying that, an image is there, but getting really detailed in it. I send a lot of documents and images, screenshots, examples to Claude when I use it. So this is going to be really useful for someone like me. If you're doing anything with documents, invoices, contracts, screenshots, annotated diagrams, anything where you hand an image to the model and ask it to pull structured information back out, this is going to be a real big upgrade for you. If you're not doing vision work, you can move on. This one's not for you yet. Now, number 2, they added a new effort called xhigh. Before we had low, medium, high. Now we got xhigh in the mix. So before today, when you called an API, you could set one of those 3. High was the ceiling. Now there's extra high above it. Now what xhigh does is tell the model, take your time, think harder, spend more tokens on reasoning before you give the output. And the results on hard problems are noticeably better, apparently. So Anthropic saw a double-digit jump in tool call accuracy on agentic workflows when using xhigh. Should you use xhigh on everything? No, absolutely not. It costs more and it's slower. You use it specifically on tasks where getting it right the first time is worth paying for. So complex code, multi-step agentic workflows, legal or financial doc analysis, tasks where a wrong output causes a cascade of downstream problems. Now, for everyone else, high is fine. Don't pay for xhigh on email summaries or quick reviews. This is going to be for your complex work. Now, number 3 is task budgets. And this is one of the game changers if you're running agents. Okay, so here's the problem that has existed since the beginning with agentic AI workflows. So you set up a multi-step agent loop. The model starts running. It calls tools, processes results, does research, writes files, and then there's no natural ceiling on how many tokens it uses doing all of that. So either you hard cap it and it sometimes gets broken halfway unfinished, right? Or you leave it uncapped and occasionally you get a crazy bill at the end of the month because it's just been running wild. Task budgets fixes this. You give the model a rough token target for the entire loop and it sees it as a countdown as it works, so it knows what its limitation is. And when it gets close to the limit, it doesn't just stop, it wraps it up intelligently now. So it prioritizes the remaining work, skips the stuff that's low value, and then closes out the task gracefully instead of truncating it in the middle or running on forever. So for anyone running AI in production, this changes cost predictably. You can now say this workflow costs roughly X tokens every time, and the model will work within that constraint without you babysitting it and watching it. So this is kind of where that employee feel starts to come, because you can put caps on just how much can be spent in tokens and usage. Number 4, we had memory. Now, specifically for agents that maintain files across terms. So this is going to be, again, big on the agentic side of things. If you're building agents that write notes to themselves, agents that maintain a memory file or a scratch pad across multi-turn sessions, Opus 4.7 is significantly better at this. More accurate updates, better recall of what it wrote, less drift. If that's not your situation right now, fine. But if you've been thinking about building persistent memory agents, this is the release to start on, because it just got a real nasty moving forward. Now, let's talk about benchmarks really quickly because it is good for you to know. If you want to watch a big technical breakdown, go to someone else for that. That's not going to be me. I'm not going to spend 10 minutes on benchmarks today because honestly, benchmarks are the thing everyone covers and the thing that matters least to how you actually run your business because we all use them differently. It's a short-term version, but let's talk about it. So on Anthropic's internal 93 task coding benchmark, Opus 4.7 improved 13% over 4.6. That's a meaningful jump. On knowledge work, benchmarks covering finance and legal, GDPA Val, Opus 4.7, B Opus 4.6, 5.4, and Gemini 3.1. So across the whole sweep of frontier models, they smoked them. And the honest caveat here is that Anthropic themselves said Opus 4.7 is great. Look, it's pretty nasty, but it trails Mythos still. And Mythos is the big model that's getting the attention right now. So their own model that none of us have access to is still the best. But if you've heard about Mythos, that gap exists still. We're not getting Mythos inside of Opus 4.7. Opus 4.7 is still going to be the best model that you can actually access right now. Publicly, Mythos is locked behind a wall to the big companies still. But you can test Opus 4.7 on actual tasks, and benchmarks will tell you which direction the capability can actually go. That's what I recommend. So if you have specific things that you want to get done, test it on your specific workflow. It may not be better than 4.6 on it. And you may just want to keep it where it is right now. Do your own benchmarking. This benchmarking that they have, it's all mumbo jumbo. Like it's just hype for marketing and PR at the end of the day. All right, now this is the part I actually wanted to make this video for because Anthropic announced that Opus 4.7 is the same price as 4.6, and that's true, kinda. Now, their price per token has not changed, but Opus 4.7 uses a new tokenizer, and this can get very confusing, so here's what that means. A tokenizer is what converts your text into the chunks the model processes. So different tokenizers split text differently. Now, the one that Opus 4.7 uses can produce up to 35% more tokens for the exact same text compared to Opus 4.6. So it's the same price per token, but 35% more tokens in the same prompt. You need to pay attention to that. So if you have high volume workflows, if you're summarizing documents at scale, running long agentic loops, processing a lot of content through the API, you need to run a token count comparison before you migrate. So take a representative sample of your prompts, run them through both models, check the token output delta, because if you just flip to Opus 4.7 across the board, assuming, same price means same cost, you are going to be dramatically surprised at your next billing cycle. For low volume, complex, high stakes tasks, this probably doesn't matter. The compatibility improvement earns the cost. But for high volume, simple work, the math does change. So stay on Opus 4.6 or Sonnet for those workflows until you've actually run the comparison, because there is that sleepy data in there that they're in, it's just as cheap, but it's 35% more tokens per run. This is important. I'm emphasizing this. Please remember this. This is going to change your ROI of working with AI. Now, 4 moves. That's what I want to talk about. That's the specific thing we're going to get into here. We discussed the 4 things that happen. Let's discuss the 4 moves. Now, move 1, find your human checkpoints. Go through your current AI workflows, find every place you put a human in the loop specifically because you didn't trust the model to get it right on its own, and write them down. Those are your test cases for Opus 4.7 on xhigh. So run them. If the model passes the tasks you've been manually reviewing, you just remove the bottleneck from your operations. Now, that's where you get the real ROI from this release, is going to be in those bottleneck situations where you didn't trust a human before, but that improvement in the model, just that delta, closes the gap for you to where it can. Now, move 2. Add task budgets to any agentic workflow you're running in production. So even if the capability improvements don't change your situation, task budgets are worth implementing now. Cost predictability in production is genuinely valuable, and it's a one-line parameter addition, so it's easy to do, and it will help you lock in that ROI understanding without going crazy over budget. I love this idea. Now, move 3, Run the token comparison before you migrate anything at scale. I already said it, just said it. Don't skip this step. It will save you money. I won't keep beating in there. And then we have move 4. So match the model to the job. Opus 4.7 at xhigh is for complex agentic workflows, serious coding tasks, answering legal document analysis, vision tasks with dense detailed images, everything where a wrong output creates downstream problems and just leads to issues down funnel. On it, or Opus 4.6 is for high volume summarization, short form drafting, classification, anything where speed and cost matter more than absolute quality. Now, Sonnet handles most of that work fine, and it's significantly cheaper. So just keep that in mind. Now, operators who actually win from a release like this are not the ones who migrate everything over right away to the new model. They're the ones who identify the 3 or 4 specific tasks where the capability upgrade changes the math. They upgrade exactly those. They leave everything else alone, and they see how it goes as a test sample. You know, use a sample size. Don't just move everything over all at once. All right, guys, that is the Opus 4.7 breakdown for operators. So 4 real changes, 1 cost thing to check out before you do anything, and a specific playbook for how to actually use it. Now, over the next week, I'll be running head-to-head comparisons on Opus 4.7 versus GPT 5.4 on the specific tasks that matter for small business operators, and I'll share what I find. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. This is the channel for actual implementation breakdown, not tech hype, you know, Twitter silo shit. I don't do that. Like I said, I do consult with businesses and operators, so if that's something you're interested in, go check out the link down in the description. I have a WAP community that anyone and everyone can join. I'd love for you to join it. So that'll be in the description as well. And of course, if you have any questions, concerns, things you want to talk about, topics we should focus on in future videos, comment, and I would love to chat about it. So that's going to be the end of it. I'll let you guys get back to it, and we'll chat soon.